Anthony is in Georgia. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Certainly. How can I help?
Well, I'm 20 years old, and I'm a full-time college student, and I also do work full-time. I make about $30,000 a year, and right now I rent an apartment with a roommate and pay about $480. That's including utilities and rent. And my question was, would it be smart to maybe get a jump start and possibly buy a house? I have no debt whatsoever, and my school is still paid for until I graduate. And right now, I'm just kind of saving up money.
Mm-hmm. When will you graduate?
It will be May of 2021. I'm entering my junior year now.
What are you studying?
Finance, actually.
Cool. And where are you graduating from? What school are you in?
It is the University of North Georgia.
So you're in what city?
This would be, I live in Gainesville now, but
okay.
The home campus is Dahlonega.
Yeah, well, I know Dahlonega. Yeah, okay. Beautiful little town. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the University of North Georgia was there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so when you graduate, the likelihood of you working in your finance degree in Dahlonega, Georgia is almost zero.
Yes, that is true.
The likelihood of you moving to take full advantage of that career is very high. What would be your plan then? Are you planning to move? Am I on track there?
I am planning to move more towards Gainesville, South Carolina area, because right now I do actually live in Gainesville in the apartment I have.
Yeah.
And I just commute to Dahlonega. But
well, do you think you'll stay in Gainesville and work out of there when you graduate? Is that your plan?
It is, yes. It was my plan.
Okay. Because there's usually, when someone graduates from college, there's a high likelihood, that's as high a likelihood time of changing cities as any time in your life, really. Because you typically are going to take your first job in your career field, and it's not unusual for you to choose to move to a different city during that time, okay? Which means that buying a home would have been a mistake. So it would be okay to buy if you want to now. I probably wouldn't, because two things happen between now and 25 years old a high percentage of the time. Not always, but a high enough percentage of the time. You get married, graduate from school, and move. Those are three things. And all of those things would affect the house that you own. So I probably wouldn't. I was in the real estate business when I was in college, had my real estate license selling, and I lived in a town just south of Knoxville called Maryville, Tennessee. Not that far from where you are in Dahlonega, really. Yeah. And because the other side of the mountain range there is all. And I found a little house that was, back in those days, very inexpensive. Nowadays it would be so inexpensive you wouldn't believe the number if I told you. But I almost bought a house when I was 20 years old in Maryville, Tennessee. Actually, Alcoa, Tennessee is where the house was, a little adjoining town. And 18 months later, I graduated from school and got married and moved to Nashville. Owning that house would have been a huge mistake.
Okay.
And I couldn't see any of that when I was 20. By the time I was 22, all the other things had happened. And so that it's just I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen to you just because it happened to me. That's not my point. But the point is that you are at a stage of life where transition is a way of life. And so it's a good reason to not buy right now. But if you feel very, very, very sure you're not going to leave Gainesville in the next 5 to 10 years, then, you want to go ahead and buy, you can. Your income is going to change, and so you're going to end up moving up in house later just because your income changes, because I hope you make more than you make now after you get this degree. So, that's another thing to look at. There's just a lot of transition in your life, a lot of reasons. Renting, when you've got that much transition going on, is not wasted money. It's buying patience. It's giving you patience is what it's doing. Patience to wait and do something more solid, as permanent as the purchase of a home is, and so forth. So that's just my speech. You can do either one. I'm not going to be mad at you. You pay you put a big down payment, you stay out of debt, you put on a 15-year fix where the payment's no more than a fourth-year take-home pay. The guidelines we always use, you'll be fine. And you can even sell that house later, probably. Gainesville's a wonderful town. Should have an active enough real estate market that you're not going to get stuck in it.